YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back after day 2 of the NFL draft with the recap and the big winners of the day. I will actually go through every single pick from day 2, rounds 2 and 3, give you my thoughts. Before we do that, before we go over every single pick, I got 3 of the best picks on the day and 3 of the best teams on the day, so combining the day 2 together for those. So want to kind of cut to the chase, get through those first, then go over every single pick. We'll talk about every pick, every team here. Really had to just single out 3 though. I had to really narrow the list down. There's a ton of winners. Before we get started, you're going to want to follow that Twitter. We were live tweeting throughout the whole day 2. We'll do the same thing for day 3. Picks I like. A lot of people probably already have an idea what's going to be on this video, what's going to be said if you follow that Twitter. So it's a must follow. There's a link down below. Please subscribe to both of our channels. We're trying to reach that 50K. Really appreciate anyone that subscribed, joined us for all this. Best time of the year here for the Goat House. But third place for the best single pick, I'm going to give it to the Rams here. There's a lot of really good picks, and we'll break it all down. I'll kind of give some grades on all the picks in this day too. But Terrell Lewis, I'm a big Terrell Lewis fan. The reason he was here was because of the injury concern, but he was healthy this year. He had an elbow injury in 2017, knee injury in 2018, 2 different injuries. He was healthy this year, had got banged up here and there, but he was healthy for the most part there. A very productive 3-4 outside linebacker, impacts the game in every way. Maybe the sack total won't show it, constantly getting the pressure. Has the get-off, top-tier get-off. Has the pass rush moves, the combined athleticism with the strength. I love this pick. I talked about in a video maybe even over a month ago that I thought Lewis was a pretty good fit with the Rams. And it's a really good Dante Fowler replacement. It's a good pick, great value, 3rd round, 84th overall. That is great value. That's a big-time player. Hopefully he stays healthy. I think he will. He's going to be a really good player for them. Second place for best pick on day 2. Very tough between these top 3. Very tough between like the top 12 maybe. But Denzel Mims, who was my 15th overall player of the draft, a top 5 receiver in the class. Outside receiver, dominant outside receiver, real physical, really good at using his length to separate from receivers, and has the speed on top of that, has the contested catch on top of that. The Jets grab him in round 2, pick 59. Why did he drop? A little bit, some teams were a little concerned with a broken hand in 2018. Kind of minor though. And you see the run of receivers. So the teams that really needed their receiver kind of already got it. The other teams that were kind of waiting to get one now know that they can wait a little bit to kind of grab that. But the Jets, they actually moved back and still get Mims. So that was absolutely big time. So they get a big time, playmaker here for Sam Darnold. This is huge. This is absolutely huge for them. This is their best receiver on their roster right now. So this is a big time pick. Hard to believe this is not number 1. It's kind of back and forth for me for number 1. But number 1 is going to be, who else but the Cowboys after we saw what they did in day 1. The best pick of day 2 is going to be Jovan Diggs. This was my guy of the draft. Why? Because I am way higher on Diggs than pretty much everybody, and I guess a lot of these teams as well. He's my number 2 corner in the class. You combine everything. He has the physicality. He can press, really good in zone. You see him leaving his zone to go make a play. Why? Because he's able to read the quarterback at the same time he's reading his coverage, which kind of separates the men from the boys when we're talking cornerback position. Really good hips, quick feet. Change of direction. You can't tell he loses speed. He attacks the ball. He's a big-time playmaker. Really attacks the ball. The ball skills are there. So, and he hasn't been at the position for that long. So I really like Jovan Diggs there. Almost at Stefon Diggs. Really like Jovan Diggs. I thought it was a realistic pick for the Cowboys in the first round. You hear that. There was an interview after the Cowboys took him, and Jerry's saying that they considered him with their first-round pick, and I'm buying it because it's a good fit. It's a good Byron Jones replacement. Just love the fit. Love the fit. Top 20 player in the draft for me. And this was an epic steal right here. So, best day 2 picks. Those are 1, 2, 3. Let's see who the best teams were on the day. It's hard to pick out 3. This is gonna be kind of awkward. It's gonna be kind of awkward here, and you'll see why. Number 3 is gonna be the Rams. The Rams were number 3 for the best pick on the day with Terrell Lewis. First glance. They take Cam Akers. All right, it's a Todd Gurley replacement. They did take Henderson last year. I do like Henderson as well. They take Van Jefferson then, pretty much the Brandon Cooks replacement. So I'm thinking, it kind of feels like they're back at square one a little bit. So that doesn't feel great. But you kind of just rethinking everything here, and we're just grading the draft alone. just grading the draft alone for these types of videos. And you get some ball players here. You get Cam Akers, who's going to be a better running back in the NFL than he was in college. Van Jefferson, same situation, an excellent route runner. You get some ball players here. And then you add in the second group of picks here, the third round. Terrell Lewis, I had a first-round grade in, so that definitely factors in. Terrell Burgess, I think, kind of is the final piece of the secondary here. He's a safety. They're fine at safety. Love the Taylor Rapp pick last year. I had him with Johnson, obviously. And then Burgess played very, very well when he was in the slot. So I think him going in the slot is going to be big time, for that secondary. Lost Nickel Roby-Coleman. I think it's an upgrade with Burgess, really. So that secondary is really coming together. The Terrell Lewis one really bumps everything up, but Van Jefferson's going to be fantastic for them. Cam Akers with Darrell Henderson's going to be fantastic. This is a haul. This is a haul right here, and that's why they're top 3. Yeah, I mentioned this might be awkward. It's because it's the same teams here as the best picks in the day. So, you can understand why that happens because that good of a pick kind of bumps it up, but usually it doesn't happen. Teams don't stay consistent, but Denzel Mims, absolute steal. We talked about that. But Ashton Davis, a pick that is really growing on me today. Liked it from the start when they took it, but really, really growing on me. Just one of those where you get a good feeling about the fit. Ashton Davis probably was specifically the best single high free safety in the class. So basically back there playing center field himself. And the Jets, it's a great fit there. They do have Marcus May, who's solid, but, this is just a better fit. And why that is, why a single high free safety is the best fit, that is a pick for Jamal Adams right there. Jamal Adams he's dominant everywhere. He's one of the best safeties in football. You could argue the best everywhere. You saw what he was able to do when he was in the box. He was at the line making those crazy plays, game-changing plays. And when you have this single high safety, you can do that more. You can, Jamal Adams is pretty much free to do whatever he wants, make those big-time plays. So we're going to see more of those big-time plays. Maybe not even just from Jamal Adams, from Ashton Davis in the background. So, in the back end, I should say. So, this pick is really growing on me. It makes a whole lot of sense to me, even though we really didn't expect it before the draft. So, love those types of picks that when they happen, you kind of think, oh, okay, yeah, that really makes sense there. It's going to be fun. Then Jabari Zuniga, who was a third-round pick, that's kind of where I thought he was going to go around that range. So, I think he has upside. I'd like to see him in at 3-4 at Greg Williams. So, that one's not, jump out of your seat, get super excited about. It's a solid pick, but really the other two really bump it up. It was a good day, good overall haul for the Jets. And then number one, it's the same teams here. The Cowboys steal the day again. I don't remember me ever having the same winner in day one and day two ever, and the Cowboys have done it. They steal CeeDee Lamb in the first round, but we're here to talk about day two. Jovan Diggs was my guy. The draft is an absolute steal. Second best corner in the class, in my opinion. He's going to be a perfect Byron Jones replacement. And they take Neville Gallimore, who had a first round grade on, but wouldn't be surprised if he went round 2, and he goes round 3. There's rare type of nose tackle, today's type of nose tackle that can be involved in every single play, which makes him rare. Pretty good athletic ability for that too. He's going to provide some pass rush from a guy that you wouldn't really expect too much pass rush from the interior, the nose tackle position. It also can move around a bit. So you can make the case the Cowboys in this draft had 3 picks, rounds 1, 2, 3, and got 3 first-round talents. This video is on day 2. They got 2 first-round talents. Jovan Diggs one really sets them up at the top. But let's go through all these picks real quick. I don't want to leave any teams out. It kind of I was hesitant to do the same teams for the picks and the the days, but that's how it ended up being for me. I originally had a long list of big winners on the day, and I really had to narrow it down to 3 to kind of defeat the purpose. We'll start with the Bengals taking T. Higgins. I like T. Higgins. I thought kind of became underrated throughout this process, really, with the media. Phenomenal contested catches. Got more speed than you give him credit for, so it's kind of the A.J. Green replacement for the future. He's going to be a big-time player with A.J. Green on the field still, so I think it's A.J. Green out on one side, Higgins out on the other, and then Tyler Boyd's kind of their slot there, so and then you have John Ross rotation, and then Auden Tate, obviously the next prime man up there, but T. Higgins with Joe Burrow definitely helps him out. Has his contested catcher there. The Colts take, well, if we want to give a grade on these two, we're kind of in the A range there, right there at A for the Bengals. The Colts, Michael Pittman, we knew they were kind of looking for this type of receiver, for sure here. And, there's some similar ones, though, that I just like a little better. You can definitely separate them with Denzel Mims, even the Chase Claypool. There's a little more to their game. So Pittman, overall, I like Pittman. I mean, it's a little earlier, but it's definitely the type of the receiver they've been missing. They want that contested catcher. So I give that a B for the Colts. Lions take DeAndre Swift. A little bit of a surprise. We knew they wanted a back to pair with Kerryon Johnson because he want to limit him because he's a good back, but the injury. So you get DeAndre Swift there. I just thought there was maybe more important things here, and with those better players available at the same time. I'm surprised they passed on a Ross Blacklock. Is kind of what I'm getting to. But I like Swift. It's just a little surprised about the pick. I'll probably put it around a B minus there. Giants take Xavier McKinney. Wasn't as high on McKinney as everyone else. I really do like him in the box, but that's kind of when Peppers is best too. So it feels like they got two strong safeties back there. So we'll see which one. We've seen McKinney play free safety. Does he have the speed in the back end to play in the NFL? I don't think so. And his bright moments were in the box. So, and I think that's what he'll play. So I think they'll put Peppers in the back end. Not super thrilled with this pick, but don't dislike it. Yeah, probably around the B minus range. C plus possibly. Kyle Duggar for the Patriots, kind of a surprise. Is a real risky pick here because you can't judge too much off the tape. I mean, upsides there, athletic freak. I'm curious to see if they play him at safety, maybe the Patrick Chung replacement, or if they put him kind of at a linebacker spot. But I'm kind of getting the feeling it's the future Patrick Chung, perhaps. So it's a little early for me. Probably around the C range there. Panthers take Gross Matos from Penn State, about right around where I thought he should go. Good pass rusher that can really slide inside. So I think the Panthers will be moving back to a 4-3. So what we could see here is Brian Burns at the defensive end position. We can see Gross Matos defensive end position. Then we can see the D tackles, Derek Brown and Kawan Short. The linebackers could be a Shaq Thompson, Whitehead, and Christian Miller. The ability to kind of be a 3-4 pass rusher or 4-3 outside linebacker, so maybe he can play there. Panthers did have other picks in this class though, so we'll get to those. But Gross Matos, yeah, I kind of like that pick if that's the route they're going. You kind of we'll say like the A minus range there for the Panthers. The Dolphins take Robert Hunt. Yeah, it's an A pick. I think. Well, it really depends on where they play him because he played at right tackle and he was good there. You just get all this feeling that he's going to be a dominant right guard, but they may play him at right tackle. I think he's a better guard, so it's kind of a wait and see here. But I like Hunt. Upgrade in the offensive line. I had a higher grade on him than Austin Jackson, who they took a lot earlier in this. So this was a good pick around the A range. The Texans go Ross Blacklock. Yeah, this is maybe we'll call it A plus range because Ross Blacklock, big fan of. I think he'll have more pressure on the quarterback than he did in college, and he had a decent amount of pressure. So kind of putting him in there. It's hard to say if this would be the DJ Reader replacement because I don't think Blacklock's more of that nose. I think he can line up there here and there. But they got Omenahu last year, which is great, and obviously they have J.J. Watt in the defensive line. So really looking out for the future, but he's going to make an impact right now at the same time. So, and what I mean by that is he kind of can slide out to the 3-4 end spot as well, when J.J. Watt's gone. So, yeah, overall, I'm going to give this one an A+. This is one of the better picks on the day for the Texans. Blacklock's a really good player there. Could have been a first-round pick. Colts trade up for Jonathan Taylor. Another confusing one. I don't know if I love the trade up, but Jonathan Taylor with this offensive line is definitely appealing. So I think the plan is maybe Mack leaves after free agency, so they have Taylor. You just got to take care of the ball a little bit. Yeah, as you can tell, I wasn't super high on Taylor in this process because of the fumbling issues. But should be good behind this Colts offense line. I just wish they didn't trade up for him. So, yeah, I'm kind of in that C plus range for them. The Jags taking Laviska Shenault. That's definitely in the A range there. First-round talent, just the durability concerns, but adding him in there, I think it's the best fit for them out of the receivers left, because they got DJ Chark, the long receiver on the outside, so you get the guy like Shenault that can do a little bit of both, do a little bit of everything, good after the catch. So it really made sense. So, yeah, around the A, kind of where we thought he would go. So not super surprising, but it's a really good pick. So around that A range. Bears get Cole Kmet, who I thought was the best tight end in the class, about around where he should go. So they add him to me an upgrade over Jimmy Graham, but you're going to use both. So I'd probably put them. Yeah, I like Cole Kmet for the Bears. I like that pick. So around the A range for the Bears as well. Browns take Grant Delpit. Like that one as well. They need a free safety back there, a playmaker, and they get that. They actually trade back a little bit, so factor that in. And we'll put them in the A range as well. So I like that. This is another one that kind of just missed out on the Winfield to the Buccaneers one. That just missed out on the top 3 picks of the day. right there, one that was right there. So I give this one an A plus. Best safety in the class for me, playmaker back there. Buccaneers young secondary just got better, so the Buccaneers have a really good offseason at this point. Broncos take KJ Hamler, surprise, second pick, second receiver. Judy can play a slot, play outside. Hamler can play in the slot pretty much the whole time there, you would think, for majority of the time. And I think they can make that work. So you have Cortland Sutton on the outside. That just became a scary receiver unit. You know, the speed, they want to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs there, the speed of the game today. So I do like this pick. You know, surprised by it, but I do like it. So another one we'll put in that A range there. Falcons take Marlon Davidson. Another team I'm curious to see what they actually do. They pick up Dante Fowler. His success has been more in the 3-4 as pass rusher. And I feel like Marlon Davidson would be a good 3-4 end. So hopefully that's the route they go. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the B. We'll put him in the B range, B plus. Seahawks trade out for Taylor. Surprised by the trade up to take him. And then Taylor, you know, I viewed as more of a 3-4 outside linebacker as well. So we'll see what the Seahawks plan is as well. It's hard to see them switch, but based on their draft, you know, it kind of tells us they can do some, you know, give some different looks here. I do like Taylor. It was really growing on me. Trade up. Wasn't expecting the trade up. Maybe we'll put it in the B range here for Darrell Taylor. Steelers take Chase Claypool. Like Chase Claypool a lot. Surprised by this one too because they got a long list of receivers. So they're going to use this big target in the slot quite a bit, I believe. And that's a good group for Big Ben. So it's one you definitely got. You know, it's one of those where you're kind of feeling it. You know, you like it. You like Chase Claypool. It's going to be unique offense, high-powered offense. So I'll peg the Steelers around an A there. The Bears taking Jalen Johnson. I'm going to give that. It's one of those top ones too. Considered for the top 3 picks. I'm going to give that one an A plus. Jalen Johnson kind of viewed as a first-round talent. Reason why he dropped isn't super surprising. He did have the torn labrum during the year, which he played with, and he went through the combine as well. So I mean, I feel like it's okay. I feel like he's gonna be okay. I'm not too worried about it. So Jalen Johnson's big time corner for them. Pair him with Kyle Fuller. That sounds like a plan there. So I'll give that an A plus. Even though they did pass over my number 2 corner, not really a problem because Jalen Johnson's a really good corner too. But there's my number 2 corner, Jovan Diggs. Cowboys, the best pick in day 2. I'm gonna give that one an A plus. Obviously, we already broke that down. Cam Akers, yeah, I put it around the B range. You know, the haul was great for the Rams. This one maybe a little surprising, but they get a good back here. The shocker of the day, the Eagles took Jalen Hertz, quarterback from Oklahoma. Complete shocker. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, it's people are talking about the Taysom Hill fact that he has on the Saints. I'm just not seeing a similar situation. You know, what I think their plan was that really what I think they're thinking was they really trust themselves in developing quarterbacks, which understandable. And then maybe he gets on the field because the Carson Wentz injury situation. He's going to be on the field very few amount of snaps times. He'll probably look good. They can probably flip him for a better pick, maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Maybe they'll try to use both of them. It's Carson Wentz has the injuries. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But they gave him that big extension, so their full belief is Carson Wentz is their guy. He should be able to stay healthy. It's just a really confusing pick. I'm thinking they think they can just kind of groom him and then maybe flip him and see where Wentz's health is at before they flip him. You know, that's really the only thing here. So, very confusing one. Very confusing one. I'm going to put it in the F range. You know, I was not a huge fan of Hertz. He had a ways to go. I guess it's a good spot for him to go. It's a reach, and it's confusing at the same time. So, I mean, not a huge fan. Give the Bills an A for A.J. Epinesa. Yeah, he's lacking some athleticism, so it's not that surprising he was here, but that's definitely a player they would like to have in there in Buffalo. You know, their pass rusher there because they don't have very many needs. Another surprising one. Ravens add to their big running back room there. They take J.K. Dobbins, which I think he was better than a couple of the running backs taken before him. I had him at number 2 running back. So overall, I like this one. Kind of wish they went Denzel Mims at this point, but same time, Dobbins, good running back, second one for me on my board overall heading into the draft. And then Ingram's not going to be around forever, so the other running backs behind that are more of the rotation guys. So Dobbins is your long-term starter, perhaps. So the more I'm talking about, the more it makes sense. So that one's kind of growing on me. two running back down here. So I'm going to give that one an A, actually. It's growing on me a little more. The Dolphins take Raekwon Davis from Alabama. Interesting one. Kind of thought more of a third-round pick. The good thing is, a couple years ago, he felt like a first-round pick, easy. And that kind of went down, though. You don't like to see a guy kind of go down. You want to see them really improve over the years. So that's the bad thing. But the good thing is, the talent's in there somewhere. So let's see if we can get it out of him here. Thought third round, though. Upsides there. I'd probably put it in the B range. Rams take Van Jefferson. Yeah, probably around the A minus range for there. And then the Vikings. The Vikings really happy with their draft. They were up for one of the better day twos overall. Because Ezra Cleveland, you thought was a possibility for them in round 1. They get him down here at the 26th pick in round 2. Pretty similar to Brian O'Neill, who's their better offensive lineman their best offensive lineman on the right side. So they're going to put Ezra Cleveland on the left side. So definitely a good draft so far. The Vikings, the Jets, we talked about that. Denzel Mims, and we didn't grade the Vikings. Vikings, we gave them that A range for sure. Jets, Denzel Mims, we talked about that. A plus. Epic steal, big time for them. Uche is a really good fit for the Patriots. Yeah, this will go in the A range as well. Really good fit. Kind of that Van Noy replacement. Not going to be as good, obviously, but the replacement there. Another one that was strongly considered for a top 3 pick on the day was the Tennessee Titans taking Christian Fulton. This is a round 1 corner. They get him down here. So this was really close to a top 3 pick on the day. There's just so many good ones. So it was just hard to just keep listing more and more. But Christian Fulton, it's an A-plus pick by the Titans. That's big time. You almost feel like you can flip the Isaiah Wilson and Christian Fulton pick, and that just seems a little right. But either way, they got both of them. The Jalen Hertz pick was confusing. This one was just as confusing here. The Packers take A.J. Dillon in the second round. I thought a 5th round at best for A.J. Dillon. So on top of that reach, that big reach where it's already, you're not going to grade it too high based off that. I don't really understand the pick. Aaron Jones free agency's coming up for him, but the peak of his career, you feel like that's got to be an extension. But and you have Jamal Williams, of course. And I'd even like Dexter Williams as the running back 3. He looked pretty. He was very solid in his college career, and he was just a rookie last year. So this was just very confusing. Very confusing pick. Definitely in the F range. This team, once again, I don't mind the Jordan Love one because he's worth the pick. Looking out for the future, he can be good. It's a good situation behind Rodgers. But the only downside of that is you don't get better right now when you're trying to compete. You were just in the NFC Championship game, and again, you don't get better right now with this one. On top of that, it's a reach. Dillon's just kind of that power back. Just a guy that's 10 years even more too late coming in the league, but. It's very surprising, that pick. I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned by that one. It felt like, the Hertz one's kind of a bigger storyline, but I felt like when the picks actually were announced, I was more stunned about this one. So not a fan of that one whatsoever. The Chiefs take Willie Gale. I like this. It seems like the defense has been really getting better. And their linebacker's always been, kind of underrated in that defense, kind of overlooked, but still a weaker spot maybe. And they definitely get better. Willie Gage. Willie Gage Jr. They haven't been able to have a linebacker that could be super rangy and fly around and be very good in coverage as well. And that's this guy. So this pick's really growing on me too. I like this one for the Chiefs. It's definitely an A. And Jeremy Chin of the Panthers wasn't as high on Jeremy Chin as everyone else. We'll see where they play him. I thought his tape was best at free safety, and everyone's talking about linebacker. Everyone's comparing him to Isaiah Simmons. He's really nothing like Isaiah Simmons. And I'm not saying the talent level. We know that's nothing like, but I'm saying he really didn't do the same. He played at, he'll play in some snaps here, some snaps there, but never really played linebacker when he was in the box. Kind of struggled. Nothing's telling me besides his size linebacker. Maybe they put him at outside. Like I said, they're switching to a 4-3. Maybe they put him at the outside, opposite Shaq Thompson, possibility. But probably still stick him at safety. Could play in the slot, but he's just more of the upside guy. I can go to round 3 right here and kind of break those down. For the Jeremy Chin, still it was the end of the second round. We go B minus. Bengals, Logan Wilson for the Bengals there. Yeah, another one where a lot of people were just hyping him up. I really wasn't seeing it. He has some flashy plays here and there. This is a little early for me for the Bengals. I probably put him in that C plus range there. Redskins take Antonio Gibson. Big Antonio Gibson fan, huge fan. The Reds, it's tough because I liked him a little more at running back than receiver, but you kind of got to use him at both. Just kind of thinking he can be that receiving back, but he's also, it kind of goes back to that Packers pick. Just confused on why they wouldn't go with a guy like Gibson because he has the power as well to add on top of that. The Redskins got a long list of running backs, so you kind of get the feeling they needed a receiver too. So that they'll use him at receiver a little more, but I hope they don't stick him in one spot because that's how because I do like him at running back a little better. I hope they don't just stick him at receiver. You gotta get unique with them. So honestly, yeah, I think it can work out there, kind of using them both ways there. But they do have a lot of they do have a lot of running backs, so we'll see. But this is one of my favorite players in the draft, so I'll give the Redskins one of the better picks. Yeah, I'll give them an A+. They got to use him right though. The Lions take Julian Okwara, another one that was a candidate for the top 3 picks. Julian Okwara is definitely an A+ here. I thought was a late first round pass rusher. Kind of figured he would go second, but he goes third. You pair him with his brother Romeo Okwara, Julian will be taking his job. He's better. He's definitely better than him, but having both those guys is great. Trey Flowers too. But Okwara really could be their best pass rusher very early on. And I think he's that good. Very productive, getting pressure on the quarterback consistently. So it's a big-time pick for the Lions. That one's definitely an A+. Ashton Davis, talk about that one. I like this one a lot. I give it an A+ because I absolutely love the fit, and I thought he was a second-round pick as well. Absolutely love the fit with Jamal Adams here. Could end up being the best safety from this class. Winfield, I trust Winfield a lot, but just because the fit and playing with trying not to yawn here. I'm very tired recording this 1 in the morning here after day 2. Pairing him with Jamal Adams. This guy could be big time for them. So that's an A+ pick. Damian Lewis for the Seahawks. A guy they definitely needed. Definitely needed in there. Good pick here. Put it in an A range. Dolphins take Brandon Jones. Thought he's more of a day 3 guy. I'm still really not sure where I'm going to put this guy. Strong safety, free safety. The good thing is you can put him either way. I'd probably put him at strong. I don't know if he has the speed in the back end. You watch his tape, and he racks up a lot of tackles, have his whiffs here and there as well, and then he'll give up some catches through the air. But it's gonna be interesting to see which spot they play him. But I thought more of around 5 maybe for Brandon Jones, so that's why I was a little surprised. And Justin Matabuke, about where I thought he would go. Pretty solid pick for. Did I grade the Dolphins for that one? Yeah, I'm kind of dropping that one down to a D range for the Brandon Jones. But the Ravens, Matabuke, we'll put it, B+. B+ there. Kind of rotation for now. Thinking kind of future here. Can get some pressure on the quarterback. Josh Jones, an A+ pick. Another candidate for top 3 picks. There's so many of them. There's so many good ones. Could have been a first-round pick, realistic early second, but he drops to the Cardinals third. So the Cardinals wanted to tackle really bad, but you can't pass on Isaiah Simmons. And they don't have a pick till the third. Well, they still get Josh Jones. I think he'll be a plug-and-play right tackle for them. So that'd be interesting. It's big time for them. It's an A+ pick. The Jags take Devon Hamilton. Confused on why they go this nose tackle over Neville Gallimore. I thought there was a clear difference between the two. Not a huge fan of this one. I do think you could argue he's worth around this range. I'll put him in a C-, but maybe even a little generous. And I thought, how could you pass on Neville Gallimore, such a specific spot? And I thought there was a clear better one there. Saints take Zach Bond. It's an A+ pick. Another one that was strongly considered for the top 3 picks on the day, because Zach Bond could have been a first-round pick. Started to feel he'd probably go early second, but still, we're down here, 74th overall pick, and they're looking for that outside linebacker that can provide pressure on the quarterback. Starting to get like Goodell. Can't even talk anymore. But exactly what they're looking for, and he has that coverage ability as well. And then you got the Lions, Jonah Jackson. I like this fit here. There's nothing to go crazy about, about this pick, but I do like the fit about right where he should have went. It's like the fit. So I'll give the Lions an A for this one. That kind of tells us Big V will be playing right tackle. You probably put Jonah Jackson at right guard. Keyshawn Vaughn, so we saw the run on running back, so the Buccaneers need to get their guy. I like Vaughn. I do like Vaughn, and I thought he was like kind of a sleeper in his class, but he did go a little earlier than he went at the same time, a little earlier than I thought he would go at the same time. So maybe a little early, but I mean, the run on running backs really happened there. I do like Vaughn. I like Vaughn in that offense. It kind of feels like like a Sony Michel for Tom Brady type. Maybe even a little more quickness there even. So even though he's not as good as him overall, so it's kind of growing on me. So I put it even though it's a little early, I put it at B minus. OJ Moutier for the Broncos. Built like he's physical, but never really got to see that in that Iowa zone scheme. All they run is zone there. So usually those Iowa corners drop a little bit because of that. You don't really know. You never seen them press. You never seen man. The Broncos will run some zone there, obviously, but everyone wants to be able to see that corner. Be physical. See if he can press because there's a lot of press zone going on as well. For the Broncos, for Vic Fangio. So, but they're confident. They're confident. So they saw something. They saw enough there. I just thought it was a little early. I put them in the C range for this one. A little bit of a risk pick. Matt Hennessy for the Falcons. Was not expecting them to go offensive line here. But about right around where I expect them to go. Probably the B minus range for the Falcons. Then the Jets take Zuniga from Florida and like the fit there, but right around where I thought he should go there. So you put it at the B range as well. Lynn Bowden, I think they're going to switch to running back. I talked about that in some videos, interesting picks. I talked about that he has the vision. He has this crazy vision where he can be a running back, just put on some weight, and I think they'll kind of use him as a gadget player, but mainly as the RB2 in their offense. So, and they can split him out if they need to. Put him in the slot if you need to. So that's an interesting pick for the Raiders, and they go Brian Edwards after, who I actually have a higher grade on than Bowden. But we think they're going to be different positions. But I like this Edwards pick a lot. Well, the Bowden pick, we'll give it a B. They got see what they do with him. Brian Edwards, I'm going to give an A plus though. I like Brian Edwards a lot. Tank of a receiver, but can do more. And he's definitely more than that. More athletic than you think. Great hands. It's an A plus pick down here. I think perfect. Opposite of Terrell Williams out there. And then of course you got Henry Ruggs with the speed as well. So that's going to be pretty fun. Cowboys steal Neville Gallimore. We talked about that. It's an A-plus pick. Guy could have went in the first round. Could have been a good pick. Nose tackle that can move around a bit. New school type of nose tackle. That's a great pick from the Cowboys. Cushenberry for the Broncos is fantastic too. You put it in that A range. They had Glasgow, who you felt more comfortable at guard. They brought him this offseason. You felt more comfortable at guard. But he does have this center experience, so they may play him at center. That's kind of the feeling. They get Cushenberry. Now it feels a little safer. You're gonna put Cushenberry at center. You're gonna put Glasgow at guard. So that pick made sense. Terrell Lewis, we talked about, big time pick. Thought I had a first round grade on him. Thought he could drop a little bit because of the injuries, but it's just too talented to pass up. It's an A+ pick. Julian Blackmun for the Colts. Interesting pick because he was a corner a couple years ago, and he struggled at times. Just being physical. With the receivers, going downfield, not in a way where he can come up and be physical with you. If the ball, going up to attack the ball, but kind of just being physical at the line and then downfield at the point of the catch. So they switched him to safety. Free safety. He's a lot better there. And he's only been there for 1 year. So feels like he's a free safety. They do have Hooker, who I do like Hooker better. But he has the injuries as well. So is this kind of like just in case Hooker's going to continue to get hurt? Do they put him back at corner, which I would not agree with? Don't think they put him in the slot because they have Kenny Moore and they have TJ Carrier, both slots. So it's kind of a wait and see what they'll do here. But I guess a good replacement for Hooker if, he can't stay healthy, even though I do like Hooker better. So some of these Colts picks I'm not really sure about. They got some good ball players, but just I'm not really sure what the plan is here. So I'll put it at a B- for now. The Bills take Zach Moss. I think a really good pair with Devin Singletary. We'll definitely put him in the A range. I think they'll complement each other pretty well. Anthony Jennings could kind of be that Jamie Collins replacement, about around where I thought he should go. You put him in the B range there. Jordan Elliott, I like the pick for the Browns there. A lot of upside. I don't know if he'll play a whole bunch right now because he's behind Sheldon Richardson, kind of a similar player behind Sheldon Richardson. That's kind of tough because I want to see Elliott play more. Because 1 year as a full-time starter and very productive getting pressure. You wish he had more sacks, but he got the pressure. He fires off the ball. So that's a really good value pick here. So that's the value. I'm going to say A+ because the value. So it's another one of those big top picks of the day. And same with the Vikings. I wanted them to get Dantzler here. That was perfect for them. Get another, get a long outside corner this time. And this guy could be a starter day one for them. And they grab Gladney in the first round. So another A+ here. Pick for the Vikings. Another really good pick for the Vikings there. So like that one very much. Grenard, thought this was possible. Grenard, I had more of an early day 3 grade on, but I kind of figured he would go around this range. And Texans apparently had a trade in place with the Lions that got canceled. Bill O'Brien got pissed. I don't know exactly what happened, but wonder what they were going for there. But yeah, probably the C plus range. Devin Asiasi, tight end from UCLA, started to grow on me as we got closer to the draft, but still a little early. I think he'll be good there. We'll put him at a B minus. Ravens take Devin Duvernay. More speed next to Hollywood Brown, but this time Hollywood Brown's kind of the stretch down the field on the sideline. Duvernay is the slot, so they're different types of speeds, and they'll complement each other very well. So I like this pick. We'll give him an A. Titans go Darrington Evans. Him and Anthony McFarland were kind of in the same boat for me, same type of running backs. I liked Anthony McFarland a little better, but I do like Evans with Henry. Thought more of the fourth round he would go. We'll give it a B, though. I do like the fit. Josiah DeGuara, another one of those where, I like DeGuara, one of my guys, because I figured I was going to be way higher on him than pretty much everyone else, which I was, according if you look at anybody's rankings. I had him at tight end 4. And then, but I thought he would, for me, I graded him around 4th round, but he ends up going 3rd, so that really shocked me. But I do like him. I do like him for the Packers as well. Really good route runner. A little earlier than I thought he would go, but I do like DeGuara. So it's a tough one to grade for me, back and forth, because I like him. That's because I thought he was a sleeper, but in the Packers' eyes, he was not a sleeper here. B plus. I do like DeGuara. I think he's an instant impact guy, so we can put him around the A minus range. McTelvin Agim, I really like this pick for the Broncos. We'll give that one an A plus. Really like this pick. Vic Fangio's scheme, I actually like him at 3-4 end. He's going to get production, getting after the quarterback, getting pressure. He's going to be a lot better than he was at Arkansas. Arkansas is a bit of a mess recently. He's going to be a lot better. This guy's going to be really good for Vic Fangio. Really good. So I like this pick a lot. One of the better picks of the day. The Chiefs. The Broncos had a really good haul, as it was, too. The Chiefs had a pretty good day, too, getting 2 pretty good players for them. Lucas Nang never gave up a sack in his career there. Right tackle. He's not going to make an impact for him. He's kind of going to be sitting for a little bit, but, the value is there. Contender no matter what. Take the value. So that's another A-plus pick, I think. Browns take Jacob Phillips. I thought 3rd or 4th round. Going to play for them. Could make an impact. Put him around the B range for them. Ravens taking Malik Harrison. I wasn't super high on him. Just you see the lacking of the speed. When you're lacking the play speed, you need to absolutely wow me in other categories. And he was good, but he didn't really do that. So I thought more of the 4th round. So kind of in the C range here for the Ravens. But he's going to play. The another inside linebacker. I think him with Queen could be good. C plus we'll bump up to. Matt Parts for the Giants. It's a good pick for them around these parts here. We'll give him an A. So kind of the future him with Isaiah Wilson, Andrew Thomas, mixing up the Georgia tackles by a long shot there. Andrew Thomas, who they took with the 4th pick, pairing him with Matt Part. Tanner Muse, this definitely is going to get an F for me. It just feels like you took a special teamer in the 3rd round. I thought late or undrafted. Just a workout warrior. It's about all it was. You could say is some upside, but not really sure what the plan is with him. I'm just surprised by Mayock. He's usually the types of guys Mayock doesn't really fall for. Interesting. Patriots trade up. They take Dalton Keene. Kept thinking they were going to trade up for Eason. It's a reach for Keene. He was kind of a sleeper, but not as really a sleeper when you're taking 3rd. I thought late round. So, they're trying to find that tight end. They're going to take a few of them, but they're trying to find a hit. But I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to give it a D. Steelers take Alex Highsmith. I like Highsmith. Potentially could be taking Bud Dupree's spot after this year. About where I thought he should go. So it's put around a B plus there. Davion Taylor, kind of the high risk, high reward pick here for the Eagles. The athletic upside. Maybe today's linebacker. Even though he didn't really play linebacker for Colorado, played a bit of safety, slot corner. So it's high risk, high reward here. Definitely earlier than I thought he would go. I'd put it in that C. I do really like the upside. Maybe it was C plus. Terrell Burgess, I think, will play slot for the Rams. That secondary is really coming together because of this pick there. I really like it. We'll put it in an A. That's another one that's growing on me. Just like the fit. Trotman. Saints traded up a lot to get Trotman. My problem with Trotman was he played the weaker competition. He would only dominate when he played the really weaker games, the really weaker teams. So, almost makes me think of like another Adam Shaheen situation, but he did play better competition than that. But it's a little better than some of the tight ends that went ahead of him. I wasn't a fan of what they traded away to come up and get him, but he'll probably be good in that Saints system. It's a tough one to grade. We'll put him in the B range there, and then Tyree Phillips, who I like at guard, and definitely can compete for a starting job for the Ravens. B plus for me for the Ravens on that one. So yeah, this video's dragging on now. Video's dragging. I just wanted to get through every single pick, give him a quick grade, just give my thoughts, because I didn't want to sit here and say, in the beginning of this video that this team won. This team's a winner. This team's a winner. This team is a winner. This team ranks here. Kind of defeats the purpose. So the big winners, and then kind of go through it. So let me know your guys' thoughts. This one dragged on quite a bit, so I apologize for that. Getting really late here trying to upload this video at 1:07 a.m. right after day 2. But can't wait for day 3. We'll have you covered. We'll have all kinds of grades, team by team, who won the draft. That's all after the draft. We're going to have all kinds of different videos like that, so hopefully you can join us for that. Join us on Twitter for the live tweeting of day 3. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.